Hello and welcome to this video. Now you clicked on this video because you want to know if Tesla is recession proof, and I'll tell you the short answer is yes. Now if you're following 9 more minutes after this intro minute, you will see exactly why Tesla is a great stock for the rebound upcoming after this whole turnaround. Now let's talk about Tesla stock. This is one of the biggest mystery in the stock market since a couple of months, because people had FOMO to lose and not to be in the gain of Tesla. And then when Tesla went down, then people didn't want to be in Tesla anymore and sold until we are somewhere bouncing around the $500 mark. Now, however, Tesla is a very strong position, and I will tell you now why. Maybe you are here from the very beginning. This would mean that you are subscribed since the summer, and since $178 per share, I was telling you that this stock and this company is super great. So therefore, if you're not subscribed, make sure to take this opportunity and leave also a like to help the YouTube algorithm to spread this message to more Tesla interested investors. Because today we are talking about the big catastrophe to come, which is a recession. Now, before we diving into why Tesla will fight a very good recession, let's talk about what a recession means. So a recession, by technically a recession, is a quarter, at least 2 of them after each other, that have a negative GDP. I talked about this in another vlog, so if you're interested into that, make sure to check out my other videos. But if something like this, a very bad word in the beginning, a recession hits, then most of the time we are past already the most difficult time, because most of the time the stock market goes down towards the recession, and in the recession we balance or a little bit negative and then coming out stronger. This is the normal economic cycle, and therefore it can be that we are slowly entering now the recession, and I believe there is still new lows possible, and the stock can go, or all the stocks can go lower, and therefore maybe I will wait still a little bit with much of cash on the sidelines. However, let's talk about first the financial part of Tesla. Now we know from the last couple of quarters that Tesla has about $6.8 billion in cash, and their business model allows that they, with every car sold, that they get this profit of every car inside the cash position, because they have to pay the supplier just 90 days after they get the money from the client. So this means with every car sold, this cash pile is growing. Now, however, let's assume that Tesla need to close all their manufacturing in Fremont and cannot produce any more cars for a very long time, let's say 2-3 quarters, and after that they have to ramp the production and so on and so forth, and they are very affected. Let's say the revenue drops to 0. Okay, Tesla on average is losing about or burning through about $1 billion per quarter, and this means that at least 1.5 years Tesla could withstand a very critical situation, financially speaking, only. Okay, so from this side, and this is the first point, we are done financially speaking. Tesla is on a very good point. As you might know, they also raised some capital recently, $2 billion, and therefore I believe they are, in terms of financially speaking, and the revenue will not drop to 0, quite interesting and quite safe. Now let's talk about their products. Their products in high demand. Now, obviously, you have to consider that these products are a little bit of premium products and a nice to have. But on the other side, please consider that these products are selling with $0 marketing budget. So Tesla actually spending zero money on advertising in the internet, on big advertising boards, and so on. And therefore, I believe they are very, very well established. If everything goes further, that, you know, they will sell a lot of new Teslas. And we have a couple of new Teslas, obviously, on ready to ship and ready to buy, which is the Model Y, obviously a very, very demanded product after the success of Model 3. And I believe also that, you know, after everything calms down, that the people will restart to buy vehicles. And this is something that I want to talk in the third part, because the third part will talk about consumer change behavior. And without further ado, let's have a look. So let's assume that everything ends and we are over this crisis. Now, what happens then if people withhold their car purchase for a couple of months and maybe a very long time to think about, right? Should I really buy my next car an engine car where I have to buy fuel and I have all this service costs and all of that? Or should I now, as I waited a couple of months, maybe I thought about to go the electric and digital way of a digital car by Tesla. And this is obviously a hope of Tesla investors, and a pretty good chance that people will rethink their position in buying a car. And I believe maybe some of the people will rather buy a Tesla rather than any other car out there, or maybe they was waiting on the Volkswagen ID3 that has still issues to be launched on the market. But maybe they thought about other companies like GM or Ford, and that Tesla finally support everyone with ventilators is a big image that, you know, at least in the US we have a strong patriotic thinking that, you know, helps, that when companies really help the community, that the community will give back. And therefore I believe that, you know, financially speaking, we are safe. The product is absolutely so amazing that once the demand and the consumer behavior will start again, that those products will sell like very hot piece of bread. And the third point is that the consumer behavior maybe will change to something more modern. And what is the most modern thing in the car industry? Is a Tesla. And therefore I believe with more and more people coming out with the Model Y, there's lots and lots more information available. People stay home. People can order a car online at tesla.com while they have to go to the Ford or the GM dealer, which, you know, due to social distancing and lockdowns is maybe even closed, right? So even if you want to buy this old car, then, you know, you cannot because the dealer is closed. So however, I still believe obviously that, you know, the oil price that is currently sinking is obviously an argument that is going more to the Daimler, Ford or GM side. But on the long term, autonomous cars, electric cars, digital cars is the future, is something that the people want, who want a horse rather than a nice looking Tesla. And therefore I believe that, you know, Tesla has a bright future. I think the downturn of this stock is a great opportunity for people that either want to buy more stocks, people that want to buy stocks that are missed the party since the summer, since I told you here on the channel to look into Tesla stock. And we had a great party until February. We reached even almost $1,000 per stock. And it was like yesterday that I believed in the evening when I checked the Tesla stock and it was at $178 that I said, this is one of a great opportunity that many people will look back and say, wow, I wish I had the money, or I wish I had bought. But the story is not over. I think the story with Tesla just begins, not only in the automotive piece of business, but also think about energy, that we will have many of batteries worldwide that will supply the power demand if we will have shortage, if we have things like this pandemic or lockdowns or any emergencies. Tesla batteries or batteries for the electric grid is something that is the future. And then also think about the solar roof that is just ramping up. 1,000 solar roofs per week. This was the latest number that was leaked, and therefore, you see Tesla is very ahead. And also you see from the ventilation point of view, they can really adapt very fast to situation. This is a great leadership by a great visionary, and I think, if you have the opportunity to buy Tesla on discount, why not do it?